Commander of the 115th Fighter Wing, and you're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome to your Hometown News. I'm April Frelke with my co-host Charity Seebecker. Volk Field hosts one of the nation's premier training exercises, replicating today's battle space using current and future weapon systems called Northern Lighting. We have Base Commander Colonel Zyzda-Martin back in studio to give us all the details. Welcome, Colonel. Great to have you with Charity and I.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to be back again.
Yes, I think you have some big news, though, about last year's
about
training.
Last year, yeah. We can't talk about this year until we talk about last year. So last year's Northern Lightning was the only DoD exercise that went off during COVID. And we also made Combat Aircraft magazine front page. So it says, Fangs out, Talons, Raptors, Vipers, F-35s, and Hornets shred Wisconsin skies. And through this magazine, you'll see pictures of everything that had happened last year. It was an amazing exercise, and they made it happen during COVID with no COVID issues. So it was pretty impressive. I was glad to see that. So this year, we've got another exercise coming up in the next couple weeks, and warning everybody, it's going to get a little loud, and it's not Fort McCoy's fault this time. It's going to be ours. But we've got multiple aircraft coming back and kind of working a multiple domain exercise, or working toward that. So it'll get a little busy in the next few weeks.
When you say, when's like the official, is there an official start date
So
then?
next weekend we should start seeing some activity coming onto the base. Okay. Yep. And it should last probably from next weekend for about 2.5 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now, will you be a part of any of the exercises, or are you doing a lot of command? What's your kind of role then?
So I'm old now, so I don't get to play in those exercises. But back in the day, I used to love to play in those exercises, but now as a commander, I don't get to do that. And Volk Field, our job is not so much to exercise. There are a few units on the base that do exercise, but we really facilitate and set up the architecture so other units can exercise. So that's, I get to watch. I guess I block and tackle to make sure they have everything they need so they can exercise. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So is it just like a during the day flights, or is it nighttime flight training as well, or is just, you know, both? I guess, yeah, which is it?
So just like a war, we never know when we're going to end up fighting. So it's a little bit of everything. And I guess I'd make it this scenario, and I think it'll blend well with the next visitor. I equate it to a football team. So the F-16s in Madison, they fly against themselves all the time. So F-16s flying F-16s. That's like a quarterback playing against a quarterback. So at Volk Field, what we do is we bring all the players in, and you'll have F-15s, F-16s, Strike Eagles, you'll have Hornets, F-35s. They all come together, and they do much kind of the same type of work. However, they play a little different. And then we give them the opportunity to play and work and exercise together. So think of it like the whole football team and all the players get to play, and who does, you know, work amongst themselves.
Yeah, you have your offense and your defense.
Right.
And so they're practicing both of their defending techniques and their offense.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm the person that keeps the field clean and makes sure the lines are out there.
Okay.
So that's kind of.
And that's like when you said the architecture, like the foundation of the training exercise.
Correct.
The facilities. And
right, and then we have the capability of, you know, tracking some of it so they can come back and debrief, and they'll go through what they did and what they did right or wrong, because this is the time to fail when you're training, and then talk about it, make corrections to what they did, so the next day when they go out and exercise, they will try something different and see if it works better.
When you're talking about like the sound, I'm just curious, this is me personally, like where is that sound? Is that the engine, or is it depend on what kind of plane it is, how the sound is?
It does.
Can you just talk a little bit about, I'm just curious.
So it depends on what kind of plane it is and how much throttle they're using.
Okay.
So each one of them, like sometimes the exhaust will get smaller, so that gets them more thrust to go farther. And when they increase their power and make that nozzle in the back smaller, it'll make more noise. Or it depends on how fast they're trying to go, how quickly. So just like you in your car, when you hit the gas at the stop light to beat the guy next to you, you make more noise. It's kind of the same thing. But unfortunately, some of these, not unfortunately, fortunately, some of these planes fly very fast, so you can't turn down the noise. It starts high and it just gets louder. But it doesn't last long. When they train here, they're leaving Volk Field and going to an airspace all throughout Wisconsin, well above us. We don't hear that. Okay. It's when they come back, they take off and land that you're hearing most of it.
Oh, so that's interesting.
That's a good point.
Yep, unless they're pretending to drop a bomb over Fort McCoy or practicing over Fort McCoy while they may come lower, but other than that, it's
so that's what we're really hearing is the entering and exiting.
Exactly,
so
which of course there's lots of power going.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So without giving any classified information, obviously, what future weapon systems are going to be used during the training, or what kind of things can you share on that side?
So I think, like, back to the football analogy, there's multiple different weapon systems, and a lot of times people try things. When I say people, the mission sets will try new things with the missions with the systems that they have. So the key more is not so much bringing new weapon systems, but it's integrating all those weapon systems together, because you can have an old airplane, as long as it works well and integrates with everybody else, it's just as effective. So it's the integration piece to it. Space and cyber are the big new thing. When we talk multiple...
Space Force, right?
Exactly. When we talk multiple domains, we're talking space, ground, air, and even in the ocean. So space, though, I would argue that Space Force is busy right now defending us. So when your cell phone gets a good GPS signal, it's because the space folks are defending you. So when we talk more weapon systems like Space Force, even if we integrate them, they're not going to drive up here with their space bus and play. They are already integrated because they do everything someplace else. Does that make sense? So
yes, I'm imagining like satellites could be Space Force.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Because those are things bringing that information from space to the ground.
To the ground.
And you can't see it. You can't see it coming through the air. You can't see your internet. Oh, wow,
Exactly.
It just shows up, right?
Exactly. And those people running that may not be here, but they may be integrated into the exercises for both space and cyber. That's how we fight in those realms too.
Yeah, I mean, like we've heard earlier in the year, like some not internet, but like, was it a power line or the oil line was taken down? Their power system could get shut down for the oil, or wasn't it something like that? It was,
yeah. So defending the power grid.
That's
where they could attack the power grid, and it could affect your power, your oil, your stop and go lights on the street. So it's things like that we have to constantly in the military practice the defense to ensure we protect the country. We don't always see that. Nobody puts on a uniform and walks around protecting the stoplights or the power grid, but they're doing that. Yes. So, yes.
When you're talking, let's ask you about that then. What kind of branches of the military will be at the training, and or like where maybe are they all coming from?
Oh, we've got them all over the country. So we've got Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and then of course Air National Guard. It's part of the Air Force. Coming from all over the country, state of Washington, I know Arizona, Wisconsin, of course. Let's see, where else? East Coast, we've got some from Virginia, but all over, I think there's 18 different locations that they're coming from.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's, I think about 1,600 personnel will be participating in this exercise.
Wow. So are they all coming at different times? They all have their own kind of schedule to fly in, fly out type thing. So there's not just a big bombardment of everybody at one time.
Well, the exercise is a certain finite amount of time. We'll get them in and out just like we practice, like we're going to war. If we all have to go over to, the next fight, we all have to get them over there. So we kind of use that as a practice for getting them in and out as well. So for the most part, they're here at the same time. And some of those are not located here because if they can do their mission someplace else, they'll sit there and feed into our airspace.
Oh.
Out of all the crafts coming in, do you have a favorite craft that you like to kind of see? Or
You're really like somebody is going to hold me accountable to this, right? What's the favorite one? I do like seeing the F-35s come in, but the one airplane that isn't coming, the A-10s, is always going to be my favorite, and that's from my time in Iraq and Afghanistan. They saved a lot of lives over there. They're probably not the best aircraft for the next fight against China and Russia, and they may be. I'm I don't think so though, but they are an amazing aircraft, and they could take a lot and do a lot. So yeah.
Helicopters, are those a part of the training exercise
Yes.
too?
Yes. So those are always running around the field. Yeah. Yes.
Are there any days that are open to the public to be able to see some of that, or is it strictly just within like the forest?
So unfortunately, I would love to open the base, but with the COVID timeline, the training requirements needed, we're not able to open the base this year. Eventually, we want to get that open to do something for the public. So you'll have to see from afar, but yeah, no, nothing right now.
So really, you're going to hear it, and you might catch a plane flying over.
Right, as they depart or they come back through flying over. I know many people have told me, hey, we saw some airplanes flying over our house. Like, we did that on purpose. That's probably just the flight path coming in both, but yeah.
Great. Before you head out, could you just show us that one picture?
The picture. This is such an amazing picture. This makes just my day. So again, Combat Aircraft Journal. It's Northern Lightning 2020. Amazing aircraft picture there. But right over Volk Field, or right over the Wisconsin skies, this is the F-22 Raptor.
Wow.
Okay. Well, good luck on your training, and thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for your service
to
our country.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate the facts. It's eye-opening, and it's fun to learn about, so thank you. Catering for the cast and crew has been provided by Strike Zone and Pizzones in Toma. Great food with fun for the whole family. Up next, Health Check 360. But first, we want to thank our sponsors.
Hometown News is brought to you by Oakdale Credit Union, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, The Fun Company Game Room Store, and the Little Cottage Home Decor and more in New Lisbon.
It's been a long day.
Mom, what's for dinner?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I really don't feel like cooking, so...
The best pizza? Look at that crust and cheese. Amazing burgers and steaks. Just the way I like it. Food the whole family loves. That's our specialty. And don't forget, 12 lanes of bowling fun and a huge game room. Rain or shine, always a great time. Strike Zone and Pizzones in Toma. Hardware Hank knows you have projects. Lots of important projects. From paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
At Toma Health, we provide expert surgical care close to home, including general, orthopedics, and endoscopy.
Toma Health stands out from other facilities because it's a smaller facility, has easy access, we have state-of-the-art equipment. Patients at Toma Health in our surgery department compliment us all the time on their quality of care.
Toma Health offers quality surgical care close to home.
Toma Health, together in care.
This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Local fitness guru Craig Hoffman is back with some exciting news about his first event coming up August 14th. Craig, welcome back to the program, and what's happening on the 14th?
Well, thanks for having me. We are excited, so excited. On the 14th, we're going to do our first event. We're going to go to Devil's Lake, and we're going to do a hike/kayak event. So well, hopefully we get plenty of people to sign up, and half will go hiking and the other half will kayak, and then we'll meet in the middle with a little healthy snack, and then we'll just flip-flop and spend the day out in nature's wonderful scenery.
Now, is that something you have to bring your own kayak with, or?
If you have a kayak, we'd like you to bring along with,
Okay.
but we'll provide kayaks as well. A lot of kayaks out there, so hopefully we have a problem where we don't have enough kayaks, because then that means a lot of people are showing up for the
Yeah,
event.
definitely.
So
That's
it'd
great.
be awesome. So there's multiple hike trails that we can go on as well.
Sure,
so.
yeah.
Are you doing? Do you have like a leading both of them? Like some people kind of leading them on their hike, or some people leading them on that.
Yeah, we have some volunteers that are volunteering to lead, and we'll be taking them out, and so it should be a good time.
Very cool.
So if I'm new to that and I'm going to register and sign up, walk me through what I'm going to expect, or what do I need to do to get into the event?
So to get into the event, we have a link provided that we'll have on my Facebook page, Craig Hoffman, and then the Fitness Connection will also provide the link, and then we'll have an actual sign up at the Fitness Connection for those of you that want to just come in and sign up, and then we meet at 8 o'clock at the Fitness Connection parking lot, and then it just kind of goes from there. We just enjoy the day, enjoy life.
So a Devil's Lake State
Devil's
Park
Lake.
Day, really?
Yeah.
Yes, a Devil's Lake adventure.
Does it cost to get in?
You'll need a parks pass if you're
Okay.
driving yourself. Otherwise, we'll commute with people that'll have it there. Parks pass as well.
Okay.
Now, some people may not be at their peak fitness and they're just starting out. What would you say to our viewers who maybe feel like they're not fit enough? What advice would you?
I would say that you're never not fit enough. I mean,
Right.
there's multiple trails. Even if you just walk around the park while we're doing the event, it's all about getting out, enjoying life, and just being healthy and establishing a healthy and active lifestyle, and just mainly to network with other people to build that whole community atmosphere. So we just come out of a 16-month isolation, and prior to that, we had enough people that were struggled with depression, anxiety, self-confidence, and so we're here to create the group to tell you that you are good enough, and you are healthy enough, and you are fit enough to join us and have a wonderful time. Anybody can do it. So.
Yeah, I know I've been to Devil's Lake State Park a ton, and I know like the Tumble Rock Trail is a nice low trail. What would you say? It's not a high
Low
risk,
elevation.
low elevation. Right.
So,
yeah.
it's a comfortable trail.
Low intensity, maybe.
Well, maybe that's the word.
That's what we're looking
like
for.
less intense than go up both sides of the
No,
park.
and that's where you need to know like where you're at. I mean, like it's not about it's all about whether you try or not. I mean, there's
a
no
really good point,
once you try, there's no such thing as failure, just attempts. So it's all about like bettering you yesterday, like we talked about before, and just going out there. If you can only hike half of the lower trail, then great job. You need to celebrate that because it's more than you've done the previous day, and then come back and with some friends and try to go a little bit further.
Definitely. So what got you in the mindset to start this group event? I know you mentioned, during COVID, it was kind of hard. That was kind of a big filler there. But what really got you going?
Well, I've always had this passion, and what we want to do is create this community of fun-loving fitness freaks, is what we're calling it. Just people that want to enjoy life. They want to be out there. They want to say, "Hey, world, here I am. Watch out," and just go out there and just enjoy life and accept or establish a healthy and active lifestyle. Learn how to do, like I said last time, it's not just the gym, it's hiking, it's walking out in the streets, walking parks, and establishing and adopting that type of or form of fitness that you're most comfortable with, and then carrying it on to your friends or children and having it move on. We want to create a movement is what we want to do. Like this is like a movement of like, fitness.
That's a good point.
That's a really
You're moving in real life to create that movement of a movement.
And what better level of accountability is to have other people involved. It's like I do a thing at the gym when people leave. I say, I'll see you tomorrow, and then in their mind they're thinking, well, I really wasn't going to come here tomorrow, but now I'm kind of obligated to.
Oh, yeah.
So anything that motivates you to get into the gym the next day is just an amazing thing.
They're like, wow, Craig's looking forward to seeing me.
Yeah.
He gave me that invitation.
Exactly.
Come back tomorrow. You're coming. Yeah,
and I would be very disappointed if they didn't show up when I say that to them. So,
it's interesting too, because when you're creating that community, then that spreads to then you maybe bring your family to that park then and say, let's go for a picnic and do frisbee and things like that. You're giving people kind of that awareness of there's more than just.
Yeah, the Wisconsin State Park has a wealth of fitness opportunities, state park system. So, and the cool thing about it is once you pay for that initial park pass, you can travel to multiple different parks
all over
and have a different adventure every time. Every
yeah,
weekend.
You can make that a fun goal. How many state parks can you get to in the summer or the
exactly.
fall? Or right. And I think in our area, just like Juneau, Monroe, Vernon, there's probably like 5 or 6 state parks within like an hour. You know, between Devil's Lake, Mirror Lake, Rocha Cree State Park, Wildcat Mountain State Park. There's,
you know them all.
I love the Wisconsin State Park system. I think that our state is just, it's a beautiful, you know, the ecosystem, the recreation system, and I feel like we don't take advantage of that enough in our state with our people. Like, I'm there at the park, I'm like, there's only like 5 people here. What? Like, where are all the people?
And it's not season oriented. I mean, you can do it season around. Yeah. You can do it in the fall. Parks are beautiful in the fall, and the leaves are falling. Wintertime with the snow on the ground, it's just amazing.
4 seasons.
Like
Craig,
I said,
thank you so much for joining us. Good luck on your adventure.
You bet. Thank you.
Well, up next is Moments in History. Stay tuned.
This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
At Toma Health, we provide a variety of surgical services, including general and orthopedics.
We do a variety of different things, from orthopedics, generalized surgeries, even specialty ones too.
Patients at Toma Health in our surgery department compliment us all the time on their quality of care.
Whether it's a total joint replacement to get you back to doing the things you love to do, helping clear cataracts so you can see those you love the most, or helping deliver a new baby.
Toma Health offers quality surgical care close to home.
It's been a long day.
Mom, what's for dinner?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I really don't feel like cooking, so...
The best pizza. Look at that crust and cheese. Amazing burgers and steaks. Just the way I like it. Food the whole family loves. That's our specialty. And don't forget, 12 lanes of bowling fun and a huge game room. Rain or shine, always a great time. Strike Zone and Pizzone's in Toma.
What's the more in the Little Cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the Little Cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage home decor and more, New Lisbon.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
I'm Major John Judy Hudak, United States Marine Corps. This is Lynxx 24 connecting you to the community.
Welcome back, and it's time for Moments in History. Well, Nick could not make the show, so Charity and I will be doing his history lesson. So this day in history, July 29th. Prince Charles marries Lady Diana on this day in 1981. 1 billion viewers watched the fairy tale ceremony from 74 countries. Wow, who would have even thought that 40 years ago? That seems like a long time. And her boys now have grown up and they have little princesses and princes of their own, and Lady Diane would have been a grandma.
NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, was established by Congress on this date in 1958, mostly in response to the Russians launching the first satellite into space, Sputnik. That was a little over 60 years ago, and we've come a long way in space endeavors. I didn't realize that it's a civilian agency that's separate from the government, even though they're highly dependent on the government financing.
Well, way back in 1588, a century after Columbus, Spain had an invincible armada of 130 ships carrying 2,500 guns, 8,000 seamen, and almost 20,000 soldiers, was totally defeated by the up-and-coming British Navy and launching the British as rulers of the sea for centuries after that.
The Spanish Navy didn't disappear from history. They were busy colonizing parts of North America, exporting silver and gold back to Spain. An estimated 17,000 tons of silver and 181 tons of gold.
That's a lot of silver and gold, Charity. That is a lot, which brings us to Nick's next story, the main story about the treasure fleet that sunk off the coast of Florida on this day in 1715, sinking thousands of pounds of silver and gold. Some artifacts and even coins still wash up on Florida beaches from time to time. A week after departing Cuba for Spain and loaded with a cargo of gold and silver, 12 Spanish ships were hit by a hurricane. 11 ships sunk with the treasure off the coast of Florida near Vero Beach. Many ships, including pirates, took part in the initial salvage, and Spain even salvaged two of the ships themselves from 1715 to 1718. Most of the ships were considered lost at sea with all the souls. However, a modern-day salvage company, Queen's Jewels, with their founder, Brent Brisbane, ultimately discovered 4.5 million in gold coins off the coast of Florida in 2015. Books and movies have even been written about the 1715 treasure fleet. So go look up some history, and history is fun. I just can't, I remember, this may sound like it's dating me, but I watched live, Charity, the Princess Diana and Prince Charles wedding.
So if you remember watching, what was the one thing that really stuck out to you now so that you remember the most?
Her dress. I mean, it was her dress. She just looked almost like that's the dress that everybody was going to wear then for their weddings. And I was a sixth grader back then, and it was just, you almost wanted to, everybody wanted to be here. I remember my girlfriends and my sisters always, it was just the dress and her crown of flowers and the dress train, is that right?
Yep.
Was really long.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I also remember the church being so long and skinny. Like, how can anybody see at the front if you're way, I was worried about that. Like, but.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like hopefully they had their closest friends and family right up there so they could see it.
I don't know why I would have remembered that about the church, but no. So that was I watched that live when it happened, and
very cool.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And when I was a middle schooler, what is she wearing?
Did you guys have, then as middle school, were you like planning your future wedding then at that point and be like, I'm picking out this dress because
Yeah, I wasn't.
You weren't that extreme.
Sorry to say.
No, that's okay.
No,
just checking.
That hasn't been my journey.
That's funny.
But anyway, and I'm just shocked at all the gold and silver that they were hoisting out of North America. Wow.
And the fact that it's still washing up onto the beaches of Florida today is crazy to me. You think it would all just be at the bottom of the ocean by now.
And why did it take to 2015 for someone to figure out how to salvage all that and dig it up, or it just kind of, it's interesting because it makes like Treasure Island and all those treasure movies exciting.
Yes, definitely.
Well, we want to thank you for watching your hometown news, where we're connecting you to the community.